Welcome to How to Submit a Claim for Reimbursement. I'm Isabel, and I will be walking you through the process. The first step in the process is to acquaint yourself with the resources available to you on the TSET Funding Portal. On the tab titled More, you will find the Resources page on the drop-down menu. The Resources page has many forms, training documents, and other tools to support grantees. The Resources tab also includes tools to help you with managing the finances of your award. One of these resources is the Fiscal Year 2026 Financial Guidance Manual. The Financial Guidance Manual contains all the current rules and best practices associated with your award funds. This manual goes in-depth with all aspects of the most up-to-date TSET standards. Back under the Resources section, you will find the Claim for Reimbursement form. This is the Excel template for claims for reimbursement. All claims must be submitted using the TSET template. Additionally, there is a separate template for claims for reimbursement for contracts that have matching funds. For the purposes of this demonstration, we will be using the Matching Funds template. When you click on the hyperlink for the document, it will open in a new tab. In order to input any information into the template, you must download the document to your files and open it in Excel. Once you open the template in Excel, you can input the required information associated with your claim for reimbursement. You will fill out the Claims for Reimbursement template according to the charges you would like to be reimbursed for in the dates of services listed. For the purpose of this demonstration, we will be highlighting the fields that we have made edits in. The first fields you will fill in are the contract number, invoice number, your agency's name, and the dates of service. The contract number can be found in the Funding Portal under the Awards/Contracts tab. The invoice number is a unique invoice number for each claim for reimbursement submitted. This should match what you name the invoice in the Funding Portal. For this example, we are submitting a claim for reimbursement for a future date for June 2026. So, we are labeling the invoice number as 26-JUN. In the agency name field, put the name of your organization that received the award. In the Dates of Service field, put the time frame that you are claiming reimbursement for. Please note the different columns for TSET amount and match amount. The template is designed with formulas to automatically add each section together, which can be seen in the last two columns on the right. Indirect costs are added to the bottom of the sheet. For this example, the contract we are using does not include indirect costs in the budget, so this will be left at $0. The total amounts are then automatically populated and can be found on the last row of the last two columns on the right. Once your template is filled out and you ensure all the totals are correct, export the sheet as a PDF. Next, the preparer and the approver need to sign and date the claim for reimbursement form. These need to be two different people in your organization. Once your claim for reimbursement form is completed and approved by your organization, you will go back to the TSET Funding Portal. You will find your list of contracts with TSET under the Awards/Contracts tab. After the page refreshes, your list of contracts will show here. You will see the contract number, the account that is associated with each contract, the start and end dates, the application number, the status, and planned TSET support amount. For this example, we are using the TSET Test Accounts contract number 3884. To access the contract details, click on the contract number. This is where you can see and manage all details related to your contract. For example, you can click View All under the Financial Activities and see all the claims for reimbursement your organization has submitted for this contract. For this test contract, you can see we have created examples for April, May, and October. For your award, these will likely go in chronological order each month. Back on the contract page, you can also check your current remaining budget by clicking on Current Budget. This tab will allow you to see each budget category and the budget details for each one. The Submitted for Reimbursement Amount column includes all claims submitted so far, but does not mean that those claims have all been approved by TSET yet. You will only be able to submit claims for reimbursement for budget categories that have funds allocated to them. For example, since this example contract does not have travel budgeted, we cannot submit a claim for reimbursement for those categories. To submit a claim for reimbursement, you will click on the Financial Activity Manager button. This button is accessible from any view in the contract and can be found in the top right corner of the screen. The first step prompts you to select the funding month and calendar year. For this example, it is June 2026. Click Next. The next window that pops up is where you will put in the same invoice number from your claim for reimbursement form. Our example invoice number is 26-JUN. Here is where you will upload your signed claim for reimbursement PDF. Please ensure the correct file is attached and click Done. When you click Done, it will go back to this screen. It may appear that your file is not there, but we assure you it is. Click Next. The next window gives you the opportunity to attach any supporting documentation you'd like to include with the claim for reimbursement, such as receipts. Attach your documentation here, then click Next. If you don't have any documentation to attach, click Next. The next window is where you will add the totals from your claim form. You only need to add the totals for each category and not each individual expense. As you can see here, the total amount requested is the same as what was calculated in the claim form. The requested amount from TSET and the match amount are separate fields, as they also appear in the claim for reimbursement form. As you can see here, you can only submit claims for reimbursement on categories that have been budgeted for. Categories that have not been budgeted for will be grayed out and no information can be entered. Once you have entered the amounts for each category, scroll to the top to double-check that the total requested amount and the total match amount are correct and the same as what is on your claim for reimbursement form. Once you have entered all amounts and double-check the total, scroll to the bottom and click Submit. You will receive an email notification confirming you submitted the financial activity. After clicking Submit, you will be taken to this view of the financial activity. Clicking on the Related tab will show you all the files you attached to the financial activity for the claim for reimbursement. The Financial Activity Budget tab will show you the total funds remaining after this claim for reimbursement, as well as the amount requested for this claim. Back on the contract page, this financial activity will now be available for view on the View All option. The financial activity we just submitted for June now appears at the bottom of this list. The pending approval status will remain until TSET approves the claim for reimbursement. Once approved, the status will change to say Approved. Please contact your grants manager with any questions related to claims for reimbursement. You now know how to submit a claim for reimbursement. Thank you for joining me.